Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're here ranking Spring 2025 season of anime. Every single one we watched, the ones that continued from winter to the ones that are finishing this season, and we will mention the ones that are continuing because a lot of them finally stated how many episodes they were going to have. But first up in the alphabetical order, we have Pound Compass 2.0, a virtual world for humanity. But a whole different world for these heroes where they all combine from all their own different realms, kind of like the world tree in Norse mythology. But they all have a battle system that gets energy to create and stabilize this world, where they have their own little troubles with a anti version of their guiding robot who's trying to ruin the world. They go through this whole entire conflict to protect their virtual world, and humanity's realm and this virtual realm somewhat collide, so some people are able to come into this at the end of it. We won't go into too much spoilers, but that's kind of the gist of it. What would you rank it, Sonny?
I'd give it a C.
A C? Honestly, I was gonna say, it got way better at the end, so yeah, I'd give it a C. First one is at a C. Damn.
I mean, first 6 episodes, probably a D.
The conflict that they end up having to go against actually boosts the story a lot. So if you're okay with watching 6 dead episodes, 100% would recommend. But it's a cool concept. It just wasn't very well executed.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, up next we have a ninja and an assassin under one roof. This anime is about a ninja who leaves her village with a bunch of other people that did like this whole escape artist plan, split off, and then she runs into an assassin. Thankfully, does not get killed by this assassin, and they end up living together because the assassin sees her as very valuable with her ability to remove a body in a mysterious way that if you watch the anime, you will know what it is. So she finds herself useful, start living together, and it's just a whole bunch of messy fun. This anime is comedy at its finest, and probably the funniest anime, in my opinion, this whole entire season.
Funniest. Oh,
I mean, I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head, but yes. I would give it a B.
I'd give it an A. I liked it a lot. It was fun. Like you said, I mean, I'm amazed you're saying B when you said it's the funniest this season. So, like,
It is, but if I'm okay, I'm going at like a whole like spectrum of like everything that's in this season, and there's a lot of good anime this season.
yes.
To where B isn't bad. It's just that story was all fun and games. It's way better than Witchwatch. Strike me down, I don't care, but it's way better than Witchwatch. You know what? I'll give it an A because it does. I do think it deserves to be on the higher end of the spectrum.
We have Aharen is Indecipherable, season 2. So, I mean, it's a continuation. If you haven't seen season 1, basically about a girl that just very shy, doesn't speak very loudly, basically trying to get friends. It's kind of like Comey can't communicate, but at least she can talk.
I mean, they both talk very quietly.
Yes, but Comey talks to only one person, while Ahan talks to everybody. Season 2, she talks a lot louder. I like how it continues the story. If you haven't seen season 1, I can't really discuss much about it. I would say go watch it. It's a good like romance anime with some comedy. Well, no, not some, but quite a bit of comedy in it, and it's pretty good. I would give it a B.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. The first season was amazing. I think the second season carried on what the first season had. I would say it's a B, 100%. We have Anne Shirley. It is about Anne, a redheaded girl who is an orphan, gets taken to Green Gables, and it is still continuing, so we don't know how her story ends so far. It is a continuing anime, so it is going into the continuing list.
On to Apocalypse Hotel. One of my favorite animes this season. It has the comedy, it has the drama, it has the action, it has whatever you want. The whole story is about humanity has screwed itself somehow. The world is trying to kill humanity. Humanity needs to leave, but there are androids that were told they need to protect this hotel, except guess once people come back. It's just basically, I can't really say anything other than that because the first episode doesn't really involve what goes throughout the whole season. The robots are there waiting for the humans to come back, and there's just a lot of hijinks that happen. I would give this, man, I want to say S. Like, it's between S and A for me.
Are you waiting for my...
Yes, I am waiting for yours.
I would have to agree with you. It is a really funny anime, especially certain episodes where everything just goes off the fucking rail. I can't give it an S tier just because I can't. For whatever reason, I just can't put it to that type of level. But I will say I would put it an A. If there was an A plus, it'd be an A plus, but there's no pluses or minuses. So yeah, this gets an A tier. All right, Bye Bye is the next one on this list. It's Bye Bye Earth season 2. First season goes into more depth about Belle and kind of like the story so far of it. Apparently left a lot of people confused. The first season did. The second season, the beginning of it, confuses you even more. You learn more about Belle, her mission of knowing herself and finding out more about herself. Then towards the end, you get told what Bye Bye Earth, the title, is actually meaning towards. Also, you find out why every battle's like a whole like theater scene. So there's that.
Basically, the whole anime is an orchestra.
In my opinion, if it wasn't dubbed the first season, I definitely wouldn't have watched it because I didn't watch it when it first came out. I only watched it for this season. In my
I
opinion,
told you didn't need to watch it. I told you.
I wanted to be the YouTuber of my dreams. Okay, leave me alone. Anyways, so there's that. I personally did not like it all that much. I kind of want to put it in D tier. So I want to
I
know
was
where
gonna
you would
say
put it.
D as well.
Okay, I'm
Like
glad we're on the same boat.
it has a unique story, but it's man, it drags. It drags. All right. Can a boy girl relationship last? Basically you have the male character and a female character. They're friends. He does jewelry with flowers that he encases, and she helps him by modeling with the jewelry. It's unique story. It has a lot of ups and downs. It's a romance. If you like romance, you'll like it. If you don't, I mean, it tries to be funny. It's not really that funny though. I would give this like a C. I would probably put it C.
They're in a love triangle, by the way. You kind of just skimmed
Oh
that
yeah,
right over.
well, I don't want to add that part because like I get that she's in the picture, but she doesn't come out until like what, the fourth episode?
I thought it was the second episode.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
That's like the
like
whole premise of the anime.
can you really call it a love triangle though?
I mean, yes, because two girls love him and he's divided on both of them. So
He's not really divided on both of them. He's
he
divided on his stupidness.
mentally he divided. Would you say you'd give this one?
A C.
C? Yeah, I'd agree with you. It's not like D or B. It's not like Bye Bye Earth bad. It's not Aharon good.
Yeah, it's not bad, it's not good. It's a romance. And I like watching romance animes, but it's just a romance anime.
Anyways, Catch Me at the Ballpark is our next anime on the list. This one is just a wholesome slice of life. You're a worker for a Motor Sun Stadium, as basically all of them. They go through the whole entire like how the stadium runs in such a perfect way where you're never bored during the episodes. At least I was never bored during watching these episodes. You mainly follow a beer girl who just goes around filling up beers or giving beers to fans, and then her favorite person to mess with is just an average Joe who shows up when he can to watch it after a rough day. And they basically add a new person every single episode, and then they continually add them in and have them in every single episode after they get shown. I don't know how they do it because they end up with like 20 people towards the end.
But they end up with way more than 20 people.
True.
Way more.
Way more than 20 people, but it's like incorporates them so well. Like they mesh so well together constantly. So for it being such like a weird anime, enjoyed this anime way more than I thought I would. I would give this an A or a B.
I'd give this an A. Those last few episodes, very tearjerking.
Oh, dude, honestly, the last episode,
Yeah.
man. Oh,
Like it's like you just don't expect to be like heartbroken or like so happy on some parts. You're just like, God, this is all about just how a baseball stadium works. And you're just like,
yeah.
why am I so emotionally attached to this?
Honestly. Hey, there might be a second season. How it ends, they could go both ways. So
I want a second season.
be prepared if you do decide to watch this anime. I would highly recommend it, but if you don't, that's okay. It's not for everybody.
On to the next one. Fire Force season 3. I mean, we're on the continuation of Fire Force. We're getting closer to the end. We have one more season after this one, and then we're done. I'm hoping it goes the direction I want it to go, and an anime comes out after it, but we'll find out. when it all ends. But like I said, it's just a continuation. If you haven't seen season one or season two, I definitely recommend it. You know, you have human combustion and bugs that cause them. It's really weird. The fire force is basically trying to stop people from dying. There are people trying to cause it to happen as well, and it's just a lot of action. Great shonen anime. I'd give this an A.
Yeah, I would as well. If you already don't know what the fuck's going on at season 3 of Fire Force, get your shit together. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damn.
I've been a big fan of Fire Force since the first season. Like
Oh, I know you
Fire
have.
Force, Doctor Stone came out in the same season for their first like showing of that anime, and those probably are the ones that kickstarted me into the watching more than one or three anime every season and continuously watching them even after the first season. I will say that because I can't think of any other anime before that. Because I watched Naruto, yeah, but it was already all out by the time I finished it. So on to our next anime. We have Food for the Soul. I will say this, surprisingly a really good anime. But this anime follows just a bunch of university students who, two of them actually can cook. The rest of them can't. But the premise is more chaotic club member, captain, or president, whatever you want to call him, or her, basically wants to make this club so they can just have a room at the university to mess around and have fun, laze around, not do anything. But they ended up getting someone who loves food way too much. And she kind of pushes it into the direction of, why don't we cook? Why don't we try this? Oh, we're going to this. Let's try all this food. Like, she's the reason why this club actually does food stuff. The rest of them just won't want to do anything. But it's a really wholesome, great anime. Shows very good progression of character. I personally would give it a B. You didn't watch it, so it
I
doesn't
did
really
not
matter.
watch it. So
So
yeah.
it's going into B. I totally forgot you didn't watch it.
On to the next one of From Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. This is basically an anime. It's about sword fighting. You get the main character who lives out in the country, has taught many people, and does not know his own skills or powers because he lives in the country. And it's not one of those where it's just like overpowered. He still has his limits. He still won't be able to defeat anybody like just because he's a main character. But the swordsmanship of the show, I have no knowledge of it, but looks very authentic, and the art style and how it's portrayed is very great. I would definitely recommend this to people who love watching sword fighting or sword skills. This would probably be my first S.
This could be S for you.
Yes, this would be S.
Yeah, I would agree. The sword fighting looked very clean and real. It's supposed to be based off of real, kind of like Avatar, where they based each bending style off of martial arts in China. They basically did a bunch of different types of sword styles and incorporated it into this anime to precision.
And I can't wait for season two.
Yeah, this is getting a season 2 apparently. But yeah, I would agree it's this S. Continuing on to this tier list, we have Go Go Loser Ranger Season 2. We get a continuation on Fighter D's mission to destroy the Dragon Fighters. Are they called Dragon Fighters? I forgot.
I think they're called Dragon Rangers.
Dragon Rangers. There you go. Thank you. Continuing his mission to defeat the Dragon Rangers. The first season he went through, he defeated the. If you haven't seen it, spoiler, I'm sorry. This season, they have the continuation of him trying to defeat some Rangers. From the the anime art, it shows that he's probably going towards after the Green Ranger, which is true. He's going for the Green Ranger. I won't say if he gets him or if he doesn't. Towards the end of the anime, takes a whole like 360, and it's just like a full on smosh pit. Like you just got welcome to the gulag, basically, in Call of Duty. It's, in my opinion, first season was good. The beginning of this season had a lot of world building. To me, it was really slow, but after like the 4th episode or the 5th episode, something like that, it kicked up and ramped up, and I enjoyed the whole entire time. I kept waiting to watch it whenever I had nothing else to do or like nothing to like distract me because I wanted to pay attention so much in that anime. I would give it an A. I don't know where you would put it though.
I give it an A as well. I expect to get a season three.
Should get a season 3.
It should get a season three, but we'll see what happens. Nothing has been announced yet. Oh, we have Guilty Gear here, based on a video game. You got all the characters. Well, you don't have all the characters. I don't know actually. I don't know if all the characters in it because I never played the game. I just know the game. I'm not a big fan of the art style. I know you are.
I wasn't a fan of the art style.
Thought you liked how the comic book way was.
I liked it when it was comic book like, but it didn't stay like that the whole time.
And I just didn't like it at all. It's also only 8 episodes, so if you do like the video game, I guess you can go watch it. It's not my cup of tea. I hate tea, so I would probably put this in the trash. I would put it in the trash.
I can't at the life of me put it in trash because I know there's so many trash animes that are way fucking worse than this. But I would put it as D because the story was still like decent. It's just the animation was bad.
I, that's gonna that ruins animes for me all the time.
Okay, I left my A rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths. This is basically a continuation from Winter 2025 anime's lineup. The first 12 are in that season. The rest of the 12 of the 24 is this season. So it finally ended. The first 12 episodes, amazing. It could have ended there and I would have been happy. Then it kind of started slowing down in a different direction than I would like it all that much after that direction. It was kind of more of like focused on a harem at that point than the first season was. And then it did a whole like 360 towards the end and it had a great ending. And apparently there's a season 2. Those first 6 episodes for the spring season, man. Oh, it really kind of ruined that anime for me. I would put it in beer. Beer? B.
You put it in beer, you drink it down. Uh, I would maybe say the first 6 episodes of season 2 was bad because like I would say like the first half was also like had some bad parts as well. I would put in B as well. Now we got I'm an evil lord of an intergalactic empire. Focus on a man that down on his luck. First episode, you get to see everything that can go wrong in a man's life, how destructive the real world is. And, he gets to get isekai into this new world, basically makes his own luck. Not really his own luck, he gets help, but that's more of a spoiler I don't want to go into. It is an isekai that is, you get your normal stuff of overpoweredness, girls falling for the main character. It's great fodder to watch. If you like isekai, you will love this. I definitely liked watching this anime. It was one of the ones I looked forward to. Story wise, I wouldn't put it up there that high. I'd probably give this a B.
Oh, bro, I was literally about to say B. It was funny. It's literally he's literally falling up. He's not falling down. He's falling up. Like walking up the stairs instead of falling down the stairs or falling up the stairs. How? I don't know how that works, but he did it. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. Season 2, the first season follows Asuza. She basically grows this like family and she gets reincarnated into the world that she lives in now and gets given the blessing of eternal life. She literally cannot die naturally. She could probably die like if someone like stabs her in the heart, probably. Anyways, she grows this like family. She gets in all these shenanigans. The second season keeps up with that. Her family grows. She gets more people, more shenanigans. You learn more about the world. I would give I would put it as B. In my personal opinion, I'd put it in B because it's funny, it's nice, it's sweetheart, makes you feel all nice and warm and fuzzy inside. But it's a C anime.
Yeah, I'm like C plus. Like
Like you don't have to
it's
make it
good.
feel. You don't have to put it like that, Sonny. I know it's a C anime.
Yeah, it's a C.
It's a C anime. That's all I can say. It's a C anime. I would put it as like
Like
B tier, but
it has a lot of slow parts in it.
yes, but it's still a really good anime.
Now we have Kowloon Generic Romance. It's a mystery that you have this one girl, Reiko, that she feels odd in this place in Kowloon, which I don't know. I have not looked into it if this was an actual place in China. There's a lot of weird things that go on that just don't make sense at the beginning. And she's just trying to figure out why these things are happening, why she feels different, like, and discovers that the guy that she likes has a person that looks exactly like her that he used to love and why this is happening. So it's just basically trying to figure out where this person is and why she feels different from everything else. I liked the whole premise of it. Every episode, you get a little bit closer to figuring out what's going on. You're never going to, well, I can't say you're never going to figure it out, but you're not going to be able to get the clues that you need until every episode after. It is something that you have to be dedicated into, like looking for what needs to be shown to you, but it's great. If you love mystery, if you love this anime, I would give this an A.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's a great anime. Basically, a story about romance and mystery with finding yourself.
Yeah, definitely finding yourself and the regrets you live with.
So we have Lazarus up next. This anime, ooh, I'm so excited to talk about it. It's an action-packed mystery. I don't know any other genre it'd kind of be in, but it is.
Cowboy Bebop.
It's Cowboy Bebop, Bebop, Bebop,
Well,
Bebop.
it's from the creator of Cowboy Bebop.
It is from the cow. It's from the creator of Cowboy Bebop. It is a story basically about a group of 5 people who get roped in to finding this person who basically created a bio weapon and gave it to the whole world without anyone knowing. Basically said, hey, you have this much time to find me or everyone else dies in this world. That's Lazarus. You find out a bunch of stuff during the whole entire anime. You find out about each character, more in depth about them, and then towards the end, oh my god, that's just a whole twist of its own self. But yeah, it's S tier in my opinion.
Yeah, I would give it an S as well. I know there are a lot of people that like do not like the like after episode 4 because they think it goes like it just deviates too much. But I like learning about characters. On to Mono. It's not the kissing disease.
Jesus Christ.
This anime is about, well, should be about photography and filmmaking and stuff like that. This goes off on a lot of different tangents. It has a main girl character, but doesn't feel like she's a main character most of the time. I just couldn't get into it that much. It just, if you like watching girls do girl things, not even girl things, if you like them watching girls do things and travel around like Japan, but doesn't really give you a depiction of Japan, then you'll like it. But I mean, like, you can find so many other animes, and there's an anime that's even out this season that is way better than it in that regard. But yeah, I'd give this trash. Like, I'd put this in trash. Like, it's it's not bad art. It's not like the story is just too convoluted for trying to be so simple. And like, I get that the last episode tries to like bring it all back, but man, like, there's so many weird parts of the anime that it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't work at all, and it
You just
it
stop
could have
right
just
now,
not.
Sonny.
It could have not. It could
You're just
not been better.
explaining this unhinged anime that has nothing to do with the fucking premise of the anime.
I
It's
don't like it.
trash.
That's
It's
all.
bad.
I
That's all
just
you
don't
need to
like it.
say.
You agree with me?
100%. It's fucking garbage, man. It pissed me off. This whole season just made me mad about it. All right, I'm just hitting all the good ones right now. My Hero Academia Vigilantes is basically if you wanted the darker side of My Hero from the streets. You follow Kunichi, basically a dude that can slide around on any surface. He gets roped in to becoming this like hardcore vigilante with his master knuckle duster. But before he is that, he goes around basically picking up trash, helping people find lost items or help them around his local area. And they called him the nice guy. Now he's called the Crawler or the Crueler if you don't like him. And he basically just has this band with him. You have Konichi, which is known as a Crueler. You have Knuckle Duster, and then you have Pop Step, and then a bunch of like supporting characters from like the main series because this is just a spin-off, and it's so good. Like, you get all the action, you get so in depth with like the story and like how everything kind of like is intertwined with the main story because they have like a lot of similarities. Like, I didn't notice this, but like Trigger, the drug that's in this anime, is actually mentioned in the main series.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I was watching the last season.
Oh God.
So there's that. You get like a bunch of like cameos too. You have Eraserhead, you have Mike something, forgot his name. Then you have Todoroki's dad.
Yeah, Midnight.
You have Midnight, and then you also get the hero killer. His fucking stories in this. It's so good. I love it. Anyways, but yeah, you get all this. It's great. It's wonderful. S tier.
Yeah, I'd put it S. I can't wait for season 2.
Oh yeah, and it is getting a season 2. Ooh. you gonna
This
go?
is, I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Once Upon a Witch's Death.
Once Upon a Witch's Death. In this anime, we have Meg, who has been informed that she has 1 year left to live, yet she can collect the tears of joy from 1,000 people. And if she does, she can live have infinite life, which will negate her curse that will kill her in a year. She kind of has like no sense of her need to live because throughout the anime she is basically just off doing whatever she wants. And that's her personality. She's done it for 17 years, and one more year is not going to change how she lives. It has a lot of really emotional parts in the anime, and it's a really good slow burn for something like for drama. I would give this. I'd probably give this a B. I want to say A, but I'd probably give it a B.
I would give it a B. Has everything to be a really good anime. It's just slow. Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World, season 2, which took like 3 or 4 seasons to freaking finish. It
I think it took
aired
more than that actually.
it aired 4 episodes and then just went on hiatus until this season. So if you want any background of why I don't want to talk about this anime so much, is because of that. The first season, man, was amazing. It was so good. The first season, it made me want a second season, and then the second season made me not want the second season that ever happened. They pulled like the last season of Game of Thrones, basically. They just like ruined it.
Oh, they pulled a Game of
They
Thrones.
pulled a Game of Thrones, in my freaking
They did
opinion.
not. They
In
did
my
not.
opinion, I'm justified in my opinion. Leave me alone. But you have Alice, the main protagonist with Iska, and you just kind of start off the second season where they finish the third season. They're in the witches area, and they get told to be a bodyguard for one of the princesses of the witches, Alice's sister, and they go through protecting her, and then all hell breaks loose. I can't like say exactly what breaks loose because it'd be a huge spoiler, but everything breaks loose, and then they basically have to pick up the pieces after that. But you don't get to the good part until like episode 8. So you have to watch the first 4 episodes that aired many moons ago, and then you got to start back up on episode 5 to where it's like, okay, you have 3 episodes of boringness, and then you get to actually good stuff. If it would have probably aired out in the same time in a better order, I probably would have given this a higher, but I'm putting in a D.
I'd give it a C.
Well, just like the last one, it goes in the one that was the lowest.
So we have Please Put Them On, Talking Minutes on. If you like softcore, this is basically what it is. It's literally not hentai, but it gets so close to it. Might as well call it that. The premise is she can take off a piece of her underwear and she can rewind time. She doesn't. It's such a weird premise because like you think that she would go back to the point that she's rewinding, but the anime has no like depiction of what is going on. It has no ground, and it doesn't know where it's going. It just knows that it wants to show off her taking panties off. This is trash.
Straight fucking garbage.
Like I
It's so
said,
bad.
if
I wanted to drop it
you want to
so
watch,
much.
if you want to watch hentai, but you don't want to watch the sex for some reason, your preference. This is what you watch. It didn't even have it didn't even have a censored version.
Oh, you're right, didn't it? With the straight titties. All right, we have Rock is a Lady's Modesty is our next anime on the list. If you want a girl basically going through like a struggle in her family life and her personal like wants in life, there you go. It's about the main character who is an all girls, really high society academy who really just loves rock music. But of course, in high society, that's like appalling. You gotta listen to that jazzy stuff. We have Lily Cell, one of the 4 main protagonists. She's basically going through these struggles. She loves to play rock music. She's a guitar bass player, and then she meets Otaha, another one of the main protagonists, and they get into like this whole like spiel of wanting to become a band. They put this band up together with the other 2 that you meet further into the season. The music's great. I love it. I love when they rock out. And between all the rocking out, it's kind of really slow. I would say the story is still pretty decently.
I mean, you forgot one part. The music, it's rock, but it's contemporary rock. There is no singing.
Yeah,
in
there
it.
is no singing in it. It's straight in.
Instrumental.
There we go. There is no music when they played. They do face bands and kind of like a battle of the bands type of deal that do have singers. So if that's more your cup of
Yeah.
tea, I still think, well, of course they do better because of they're the main people. But in my opinion, I enjoyed their rocking out. But yeah, I would give it a B.
I'd give it a B as well. I would also note it's not an anime I'd watch with other people because of the the lesbianism in it.
I'm gonna butcher this name so hard. Shirro reincarnated as the neglected noble, raising my baby brother with memories from my past life. Honestly, way better than Mono, just to put this out there right now. This anime basically just follows this dude who got reincarnated into a fat boy body and is just blessed by the gods. They all love him because of his past life of being like a handyman. So, yeah, and he takes care of his baby brother when the family neglects him generally, and then they start not really neglecting the baby brother, but he takes him under his wing. It's a very wholesome, cute anime. Might be a season 2. Who knows? Because of how they ended it. But yeah, it's in my opinion, it's a very wholesome, cute anime. It goes in a D.
I did not watch this, so you know, it just popped in my head. Wait, what? You put it in D?
Yeah.
You after all that praise?
Well, yeah, but you got to look at all the other anime that have already been out this season. That's where I'm kind of like putting it as like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't, it's better than Mono, 100% better than Mono, but if technically I'd put it in the front side of D, but I'm not going to mess with the whole format. It could be C. It's more like a D plus, but anyways, it's a good anime. It's not like one that everybody would enjoy.
And with that, we'll move on to Shoshman. If you like Hyoka, you'll like Shoshman. This is season 2, and man, does it go into it. If you've watched season 1, you'll love season 2. It does the same premise. They're just further into their high school career. They're still solving mysteries. And they're trying to. I mean, Shoshman is to become or how to become ordinary. They're trying their best, but they are just not good at it. They are some weird eccentric people, but it works for them, and they should embrace it, but they don't. I really love this anime. I'd give this an S. I
You
know
give
it's
Soshman an S?
I give it an S. Like I love the mystery. I mean, like also like I compare it to Hyoka, and Hyoka is also like an A to S range, and I think it's a little bit better than Hyoka.
I'd say it's personal preference, but just because it's art, that's why it's personal preference because art is like subjective. But I would agree it's an SA. I can't agree with you on it being S tier though, because in my opinion, I prefer Hyoka. I 100% prefer Hyoka.
I do understand people saying that as well.
All right, next we have Summer Pockets. This anime is based off visual novel, I should say. So we have Summer Pockets. It's basically the anime version of the visual novel, and they really mess up how they do the anime. I'll let anyone that watches it, but it's this dude that goes to an island and he's fixing women. That's all I got for you. Take it with you as you will.
That's kind of a weird way to say that.
It is how it is, okay? Anyways, if you've watched or if you've done the visual novel, you'll know what's going on. I have no idea what the fuck's going on at this point. Other than some like YouTube videos that I've tried explaining it. It is a continuing anime, so we're not going to rank it. It's just going straight to the continuing.
Now we have Sword of the Demon Hunter. It's again also another continuing anime. We don't know how many episodes this one will get, but it's not like Demon Hunter. It's very unique. The first episode is 50 minutes long, so be ready for that if you do want to watch this. It has a lot of detective work in it, even though it is about killing demons, but it's unique, and I would say if you want to watch it, go for it. I'm not going to stop anybody.
All right, we have Tugonia on the next part of this list. You have Tugonia, which is basically like a harsh region where there's only like certain plots of areas that are like super nutrient bound, depending on the god and how much praise and prayers and offerings that god gets. Depends on how good that land is actually going to be. They're land gods, basically. Basically follow a young man named Kai who stumbles upon this valley god and ends up being an isekai as well. We learned he gets memories of a past life or another world, and he's not isekai. It's kind of a hit or miss. I really don't know. But I would put it as A.
You put that as A? I'd put it as B. Like it's fine. Like the art isn't really that great, and the story is like if you start digging more and more into the story is just kind of basic. It's just a man trying to like he gets powers and he fights and gets stronger and learns new techniques. And also it's an isekai, and it's just but try not to be an isekai. I'd give it a B.
Oh, it's in B because we always go towards the bottom one, unfortunately.
So we have the all devouring well homecoming. I don't know how to say anything about this ranking wise because we still do have technically two more episodes to watch. It's about a man who at the beginning trying to become one of the top spirit controllers, spirit pet master. Yeah, and he he does not succeed, and he dies and gets reborn a year later and is trying to do it all again. The art is amazing, the action is good when it has action. For some reason they stop the action after like the first two episodes, and then they bring it back for like a couple seconds and then stop it again. And if they just focused on the action with the spirit pets, then it would be really good because the story is a little bit blandish. Like it's the same thing again and again. He gets stronger, they fight somebody strong, they do it again, and they go back home. And they go back, and it's just like, okay, I just want to see you guys fight with your spirits. And you're not really giving me those fights. So, with that regard, I would give it a C.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Just for the 10 episodes that's been out, I would put it as a C.
Yeah, and it seems like it'll get another season. I mean, it's a Chinese anime, so we'll see.
The Apothecary Diaries Season 2. We follow the main protagonist, Mao Mao, and her ways of becoming an apothecary behind the scenes because women can't become apothecaries apparently. And then you learn more about her, the main eunuch, who may or may not be a eunuch, and the story. Yeah, it's hard to say a lot about the second season or the whole entire anime in general without spoiling stuff. It's good. I would give it A. I don't know what you would do.
I give it S. It's good. I like it a lot. Like the world building, the story, like knowing that where it's going and how the characters feel very real to me. It's an S to me.
I should also say that there's 24 episodes and the last episode hasn't aired since as the making of this list. It could become S, and I will place it where it needs to be when the time comes. But as of right now, it is an A.
We have the beginning after the end. It's what do they call them? It's not. Is it manhwa? It's a web novel. It's a Korean web novel. It had a lot of hype to it at the beginning of the season, and it's supposed to be Jabba's reincarnation for the Korean side of the story, and it has that same essence. Uh, but God, did they fuck this up? I had no pullback on my words, because man, the art style is fine, but it's basically you're reading it. There
Mhm.
is there's barely any movement.
But we have the Brilliant Healers, New Life in the Shadows. We basically just follow the life of Xenos, backwater healer who got kicked out of his adventuring crew because they find him useless. And it's like a whole nother it's basically like the healer who was banished from his party is in fact the strongest, where this man actually carried and everyone else is just like, oh, he's basic. Or even Beast Tamer, that anime, where he gets kicked from his party because they find him useless. Or another anime that came out this season that we have yet to talk about, the Unaware Atliser. I just keep thinking of all these references for this anime. But yeah, you're basically just going through a life of Xenos, who gets kicked from his party and goes back to the slums where he was raised. Starts a backwater, but just a slum hospital basically, where anyone in the slums can go there as long as they pay the price of the healing. It is not money all the time. It is whatever he determines worth for his healing abilities. But his healing abilities on par. Nobody's on par with his ability to heal people in this world. This man can regrow a whole arm. Yeah, you follow his story, you get through it. I won't go too much in detail because then I'll end up spoiling a lot more than I should. I personally would give it a B.
Give this a B. I give this a C. It just the first 5 episodes are just bad. You're just thrown into a story and you don't even know what's going on. Oh, there's these 3 girls. Why do they like him? Who is he? What does he do? And then third episode, they start from the beginning. And I'm like, why did you start like that? But that's why I give it a C.
That makes sense. I'd still put it as B in my humble opinion. I really enjoyed it. So
So on to the dinner table detective. It's a great story-wise mystery anime, detective anime. Basically follows rich, wealthy girl who is basically playing detective because she does work for the police as a detective under the head detective who's also comes from a rich family. It's more of like they're trying to play it as hijinks. They do have serious stuff that happens throughout the anime, but the butler for her is should have been the main character, but is not. It was fun, like fun trash for me. I'd give it a C.
yeah, I would give it a C as well because it was like it was funny when the butler is basically just harassing his employer, but it's just a minute anime. I enjoyed it because it was dubbed. Okay, I'm gonna have a strong opposite opinion to Mother's Basement on this anime, and I'm only saying Mother's Basement's name so I can put him in my tags on my video can get shown up whenever people look up his name. So we have the Gorilla God's Go-To Girl. It's basically a reverse harem where you follow Sophia, this small country duke's or count's daughter, and she goes to the Royal Academy where she gets blessed by a god. The Gorilla God, the most powerful one there is, basically, that only shows up every few hundred years, apparently. But their society, as long as you're of nobility, you get to pick like a card that basically gives you a blessing from that spirit animal. You can be a dog, cat, spider, falcon, hawk, jaguar, gorilla, etc. So it can be anything. Some are super rare and some are more common. Like I bet you dogs are just tossed around like chopped liver, and a gorilla god and a jaguar are the most feared because they don't show up all that often, something like that. But you basically show she gets thrown into the royal guard as a trainee just because she gets the gorilla god. Then you get through the whole story. It's classified as a harem because she has everybody wanting her, but she only has eyes for one dude, so I don't see it as a harem. I can't speak for everybody. I would personally put it as a B.
I put it as B as well. We have the Mononoke lecture logs of Chuzenji Sensei. He just solves all the mysteries. I would say if you like Toilet Bound Hanako, this is the opposite of it, as in it's not anything doing with supernatural, but people in the school believe everything is supernatural. Why do I have all the mystery stuff? There were a lot of mystery detective animes this season, and it revolves around Chuzenji Sensei, who is teaching, like, who is a teacher who can solve things knowing that nothing is actually supernatural, but doesn't say that nothing can be supernatural. He just says there's things to prove that they're not. And the female lead, Kana, basically does the solving for him so that he doesn't ever have to say that he did it for everybody else. It's a fun anime. There is nothing weird about it. It's proving that, like, if you're afraid of ghosts, this is why there's no ghosts. This was what went bump in the night and why things aren't really the way you think they are. I'd give this a C. It was fun.
Yeah, it's just a anime to watch. Honestly, I would put it as C as well. So yeah, the Suinji family children. Basically, within a couple of episodes, you find out that they're adopted. Only one pair is actually a brother and sister. They all start falling for the eldest brother. That's kind of the gist of it. And then you go through like a whole different. It's like a slice of life after that, where they just kind of like each episode you realize, oh, okay, this one likes them now. Well, fuck. And then the end of it's just like a whole entire like a 360. What you had to do a double take. I rewinded the anime just to make sure I read it properly. But yeah, it's just wholesome. It's funny. It's great. I don't know why Mother's Basement put in trash. Like, I understand, but I don't understand. Okay? Leave me be. So, how they ended it does make it sound like it might get a second season. I, with my powers to be, would put it in B.
I put it at C. We have the Two Perfect Saint tossed aside by my fiance and sold to another kingdom. I mean, the title basically tells you what's going on. The prince of the kingdom she is a saint for does not like her. Her own mother and father things. Yeah. Stuff is weird as you get into the later episodes and kind of pisses you off a little bit, but like more in the sense of you feel for her a lot more because her own mother and father do not like her. Her sister loves her, and her defending another kingdom and trying to build up trust and love from what she was born from. And, you know, I like this anime a lot. I would say that it's kind of like the Saint's magic power is omnipotent as well. I would compare the two. One, the Saint's magic power is omnipotent is not as stressful for her life, even though she comes from another world. But I'd give this a B. Like it's close to an A, but it's a B.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Straight B. I love that anime so much. Such a good anime. An anime that was mentioned before, but we have the Unaware Atliser. This anime follows Kurt, basically a kid from the last town, technically, if you want to put it in that sense, who seems like he's 15 years old, gets kicked from a party, the Flaming Dragons, an S-rank party, because they think he's useless. Well, you'll find out sooner or later in the episodes that he's not a useless person, and he basically gets a semi-harem. He gets the three girls that really want him, and he just like unknowingly progresses his life to be a better life for himself, but he thinks he's absolute trash. He thinks he's the most useless person ever because of where he grew up, where everyone was just like him or better. So I know everyone's gonna hate me because it's just like another one of those overpowered character tropes that gets used up all the time. I really enjoyed this anime a lot. I'd put in A tier.
You put this in A?
Sonny, shut up. I enjoyed it way too much.
I put this in C. Fuck.
Well, good thing it goes in B.
So now we have ToBeHeroX, and I just discovered there's a prequel to this anime. It's To Be Heroine. Came out in 2018. Yeah. There's also a prequel to that anime as well. To Be Hero came out in 2016. It also is getting 24 episodes. This is a continuing anime. I like the art style. I like the story. It's basically, I would say it's kind of like My Hero Academia. Like, yeah, people get power on like their trust abilities. Better, not better art, but like more crisp art.
We have Windbreakers season 2, just like the first one, doesn't skip a beat on the action, the progression in the story, or the animation for the fight, and just whenever they're just chilling. They might be 20-minute episodes, but you feel like you just watched a 5-minute episode because how well it just flows. If you haven't seen the first season and you're wanting a good anime to watch, Windbreakers is great. You basically follow Sakura, who joined the Furine High School, basically a school where they don't show like they actually go to school. It's basically like them guarding a town. The stronger you are, the higher up in the hierarchy you are, because you're basically fighting for power. And you learn basically through him, who's always been alone, the progression it takes for him to like grow up. Not like grow up, but like personality. He grows personality wise. You may not agree. I think you would agree with me on this one. I'd give it an S.
I put an S. Like every episode, I didn't even know the time went by the time it was over, and I was a little sad that it was over. We have an anime called Witchwatch. A lot of people do love this anime. I know the manga has huge hype on it, and it's about a girl who comes back. It's been prophesized by her mother that something bad will happen to her eventually, and her childhood friend, who is an Oni, has to protect her. And throughout the whole thing, they fall into shenanigans and hijinks. I can understand why people love the manga because there's a lot of references to other animes, mangas, and things and cultural things. It's just not as funny as people say it is.
Yaiba Samurai Legend. This apparently was a older anime or manga. I thought it had another adaptation of it. So okay, it had its own variation of it. So in the 80s. But you basically just follow Yaiba, this little kid who wants to be the strongest swordsman samurai in Japan, and he goes through this whole like high school phase technically, where he meets his rival, and then they go on to a mystical journey of swords with magical powers by gods. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I know it's an older anime, but yeah, you basically get like swords with gods powers.
So we have Yandere Dark Elf. She chased me all the way from another world. Again, I mean, if you like, please put them on Talking Money, and it's probably even looter than fucking that one.
You follow Hinata, who was basically summoned to another world to be a hero, defeat the demon lord. You know that whole spiel that Isekais do. He defeats the demon lord, gets sent back to his original world, where the dark elf follows him all the way there, and then shit just keeps getting spicier as the season keeps going. So yeah, there you go. It's trash.
Yeah, Why are we even putting this on this list? This is trash. Just put it on trash.
Your Forma, basically a world where people get like bio enhancements where they can like answer phone calls by just looking a certain direction. They have like this whole UI HUD like a video game. And then they have cyborgs, not even cyborgs, like full on AI robotic people. I'm trying to think of like what they exactly call them in there, but they call them cyber specter, where they basically go in and like dive into the people's memories as long as they have like the enhancements, because like any world like this they would have people that don't enjoy that. And you just follow this girl whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, and her assistant, who's purely an AI robot. And they basically go through and fight crime technically. There's some mystery to it, especially towards the last couple of episodes. I would put it as a C anime or a low B.
I'd give it a B. Zatsutabi, that's Journey.
She's so upbeat about this one.
I am very upbeat about this. It follows a manga artist who is in a slump, doesn't know what to do, and decides, hey, what if I just travel around and, relax a little bit, and maybe that'll kickstart my thought process into writing a manga. And eventually it eventually turns it into what she writes manga about. It's great. It's very, very pretty anime. If you want to know more about Japan, and like if you're planning on visiting Japan, it is a great anime to watch before your trip. I'd give this an A.
Why? What do you think I'm gonna put it as?
A C.
No, I was gonna do a B. And there you have it. Thank you, Sunny, for helping me with these. But there's our spring 2025 list. Surprisingly, unlike last season, we didn't drop a single one.
But
Yeah, Witchwatch. This season has its ups and its downs. A lot more ups than downs, though. As you can see, a lot of it's in the C's to the S rank. Not a lot of D and trash, surprisingly. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this format of kind of explaining it and showcasing a little bit some parts of the anime instead of doing what I did last time, let me know. Put it in the comments. Hit the like button. Just some form of way of just showing me that you prefer this version versus the other one. Or if you would just prefer a straight unedited version of it, let me know. Less editings makes my life a lot easier. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.